Hello, everybody. It's just me again. Well, today I'm going to tell you about a Christmas that happened probably 30 years ago, if not longer. Probably longer. But anyway, my dad and mom and we got this big fight. I guess it was close to the end of summer. And I left home. And I was staying here and there. I wasn't really staying at a stable place. And, I was going to show them that I didn't need them. I really didn't need them. Well, I stayed away from, I'd say from August to, I guess it was close to Christmas before I seen them again. And people telling me that my dad was looking for me, and I tried to stay here because I didn't want them finding me. I stayed at Ricky Gunner's house. I'd go and I'd stay with Brian Parton. I would stay with family and stuff like that, friends, wherever they would let me lay my head, that's where I would stay. But I was bound and determined, that I didn't need my mom and daddy anymore. And, and they wasn't gonna, they're just gonna have to wonder about me because I wasn't gonna be there. Well, I was working. I'd taken a job at, what do you call it? Southern Casting. And we poured aluminum and stuff like that. Well, I was working there. And a buddy of mine, Ricky Ball, I would stay with him some. And he kept telling me, you need to go talk things out with your parents. You need your mom and daddy. And I'm like, no, I don't. They don't need me. And but anyway, it went on 3 or 4 months, and I kept hearing people tell me that my dad was looking for me, my mom was looking for me. They was wanting to see me and all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, right. You're just trying to get me to go home. Well, I went and I was out partying one night, and I run into my Uncle Jerry Wilson. And he was talking to me, and it was around Thanksgiving. And he was telling me, John, you need to go see your mom and daddy. They're worried to death about you. I said, Jerry, they could care less about me. He said, you're wrong. And I said, no, I'm not. I said, they know where I work. And, they don't need me. So why do I need to go and see them? And so, we carried on that conversation probably 2 or 3 hours, and finally I just got tired of hearing it, and I left. I left the bar. I was drunk. I left the bar. Like I said, I was 20-something years old. I was a know-it-all. I knew everything about everything at that time, and really I didn't know nothing. Looking back on it today, I didn't know nothing. So if I ain't mistaken, that night I wound up having to go up in Greenbrier and sleep in my car because I was so drunk that I didn't want to go and ask somebody to stay at their house. And anyway, it started getting colder and colder, and like I said, I was working at Southern Casting. It was a foundry I was working at, and it got close to Christmas, and I was back there point with me and this boy they call Hillbilly. Me and him worked together, and they called my name over the intercom. John Vance, come to the office. I'm like, oh boy, what did I do now? You know, just like being in school every day, I was called to the office for something. And so I looked at Hillbilly and I said, what have I done? Hillbilly looked at me and said, how the hell do I know? So I went over there. I went on up to the office, and there stood my dad. He's like, why are you avoiding us? I said, Dad, y'all don't need me. Y'all got Eric, y'all got Freddie, y'all got Roy. You don't need me. I mean, y'all made it obvious, you know, I'm the black sheep of the family, you know, y'all don't need me no more. And Dad looked at me, he said, you're our son. No matter what happens, we're gonna love you no matter what. And he said, Mama's wanting you to come home for Christmas. And I'm like, well, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. I looked at Matt's Ritz and I said, I'm going back to work. And he said, all right. So I went on back to work. Well, I noticed him and Dad stayed there and talked for a little while. Well, I left work that day and I went to Ricky's house that night, Ricky Ball. And Ricky kept telling me, yeah, see your dad and them do care. They come down to work to see you today. He said, I saw you in there in the office talking to him. I'm like, you know, it's probably Mama the reason that they want me to do this, because I was Mama's favorite. And Ricky said, it doesn't matter why they're doing this, John. He said, a man needs his family. He said, look at me and my dad and my mom. He said, I'm here, I'm helping take care of my dad and my mom. And my brother, he had a brother that was, either it was autism or it was retardation. I don't know exactly what it was, but he was mentally ill. And he said, I'm here helping them. He said, they're older, they need your help. I said, look, they got Eric, they got Freddie, they got Roy, they don't need me. I said, I'm the one that, you know, I'm the one that causes all the problems and all this. I said, they don't need me. And he's like, yeah, John, they do. But anyway, we went on, and so it come down to Christmas. And I'm over in Gatlinburg. It's Christmas Eve. I'm in Gatlinburg. I'm in a bar. Mom and Daddy always celebrated Christmas on Christmas Eve. That way the boys that was married had a chance to go and spend time with their family, and mom's brothers and sisters and stuff could come down and everybody open their gifts and everything and have fun. And Christmas Day was left for each individual family. Well, I'm in this bar, I'm shooting pool and stuff like that. Well, Dad walks in. Now, mind you, he left Christmas to come and find me. He walked in the bar. He said, John, Mom and Ruby's wanting you to come for Christmas. I said, Dad, I've been drinking. I ain't going over there. They said, we don't care. We want you home for Christmas. I said, Dad, I'm not going. He said, you shooting pool, right? I said, yeah. He said, I'll make you a deal. He said, I'll shoot you a game of pool. He said, if you win, I'll leave you alone. If I win, you come home. I said, okay. So, anyway, we racked him up. And sure enough, he beat me. And I kept my word. I walked out, I got my car, and I followed him home. Now, mind you, I've been gone since August. And, you know, Dad walks in. Dad walks up on the porch and he opens the door and I'm walking up. He said, come on. He said, you promised. I said, I know, I'll be there. And I eased on in the house, man. As soon as I eased on in that house, my mom, she jumped up. She wrapped her little arms around my neck, and I swear I thought she was going to break it. And then my mama Well, see, my mom was probably 5'2", 5'3". My mama was even shorter than her. And she come over there, running over there, and she jumped up, she hugged my neck. I'm like, ooh. You know, and she's like, you don't know how much I missed you, Johnny. You just don't know how much. We love you and we miss you. I said, you all don't need me. You know, you got everybody else. Y'all don't need me. Mom looked at me and she said, let me tell you something. She said, we're a family. We need each and every one of us to make that family. And she said, we know you've been staying here and there, and we know you haven't been eating right. She said, you can look at you and tell. And she said, everybody decided they was going to wait until Charlie come back to see if you come home before we had supper tonight. Because everybody here wanted to see you. Everybody here wanted you to be here. To be a part of the family, which you are and you always will be. Now, that, I have to say, is one of the better Christmases that I've ever had in my life, because even though I wasn't there, my mom, my dad, my moms, and my brothers all thought about me and thought enough of me to get me something for Christmas and to wait on me for Christmas dinner and all that stuff. And then whenever it was over, Mama looked at me and she said, you got any clothes that needs to be washed? I said, yeah, why? She said, you're not leaving again. She said, you go out and get your clothes and you take them back there and you put them in that bedroom. She said, you're home and you're going to stay home. My mom looked at me and she said, please, Johnny, please stay here. She said, you just don't know how hard it is to wake up and see everybody and knowing that you're out there doing God knows what, or wondering if you're even going to live through the night, or somebody's going to kill you, or you're going to freeze to death, or whatever. So please, Johnny, please, for me, if you will, stay. Now, that is the kind of family I got. That is the reason family means so much to me, because, like I said before, it never mattered what I'd done. My family always loved me, and my family never turned me away. Now, you know, this Christmas was pretty bad. I mean, it really was. Because I guess a lot of you know I'm married, but for the last 3 years, you know, it's not been good. And now my wife's moved her boyfriend in with us, and this Christmas, it was their first Christmas together, and he took off. And she has made it a point, because he ruined her Christmas, to ruin everybody's Christmas this year. I'm hoping each and every one of you all had a good Christmas, and you all didn't have to sit around and listen to what me and my kids had to listen to. But, you know, it's just, you know, me and my wife are over. We're done. We've done talked about it. We're through. Ain't no reconciling. Ain't no nothing. We're done. And right now we're just waiting. I'm just waiting to get a place of my own. Whether it's in North Carolina or whether it's in Tennessee. But wherever it's going to be me and my son. And we're going to be happy. Now, like I said before, I hope each and every one of y'all had a very Merry Christmas. I hope y'all were blessed. And I want you to know I love you. And God loves you. And I'll talk to y'all later.